Hello students, I think you are doing well. Before it, we have started about Unit 5, Physiological Structure and Life Process. And today also we are going to continue that, same thing. And we were doing about heart attack and we did many things. What is heart attack? What are its symptoms? What are its risk factors? Yes, like that, how can we diagnose it or how do doctors diagnose it? And what is its treatment also we did. But diagnosis and treatment were only introductory. About others we have done in detail. So today, in today's class, we will discuss in little bit detail about diagnosis and its treatment method. That means of what? Heart attack. And then we will discuss about pulse rate and heart rate. That is the additional thing. So I think you are ready for that. Yes, you should be with your copy, pen, pencil, book also. Okay. So at first, I'm giving you a question to think as usual. At first, see the diagram. What does the picture clip show? Yes, there is something happening in the nail, thumb. Yes. So think about this question given here. A person hits hammer on his thumbnail accidentally while hammering nail on a wooden plank. Why does the nail darken as shown in the diagram? Yes. So here, why does it happen? What is its cause? So it is related with what? Yes, blood clotting, blood clot. So here blood is clotted. Blood does not clot only when it comes out from the body. Inside our body also it can be clotted. Yes, and there are two major components in our blood which make that clot, about which slightly we did when we were studying about blood cells. Yes, do you remember? We have learnt about fibrinogen. Yes, and blood platelets, which is also called as thrombocytes. So the word thrombo, I introduced you, that thrombo means clotting. Thrombocytes, those blood cells which clot the blood, because they also have thrombin, that is an enzyme. Yes, so here when the cells are injured by the hammer, they produce some enzymes called as thrombokinase. What is that? Thrombokinase. That may be more than your requirement, but it is interesting. Thrombokinase. That is what? Enzyme. And this enzyme changes thrombin. Thrombin is found in thrombocytes. Thrombin into prothrombin. Then what does the prothrombin do? This prothrombin changes fibrinogen. Fibrinogen is found in what? Yes, plasma. We did it. Then it changes into fibrin. And in fact, fibrin is mesh of blood vessels. That means that is fiber and it forms mesh of what? Not blood vessels. That is mesh of fibers. And that blocks. It blocks the flow of blood outside. And it makes what? Clot. Yes, in this way clotting occurs. This mechanism is not necessary for your course, but knowledge is not bad. You should know that how does it happen. So if our tissues, cells get hurted, get injured inside our body, they may cause what? Clotting. Because that knowledge is required in that lesson about which we are going to talk. And the same thing happens in heart attack also. That may be due to HDL, about which we have discussed. That may be due to what? Plaque, as we have discussed. Yes? Okay. Now, just recall whatever you have learnt last time. Whatever you have learnt about heart attack. Yes? You have to write very less thing in very few minutes. Just in 1 minute or 2 minutes, maximum 2 minutes, you have to finish it. At first, write definition. What is heart attack? Then risk factor, any two, not all. You did about 10 risk factors. Yes, but only 2 you have to mention. Then preventive measures 2. Symptoms only 2. Number of symptoms you did. Diagnosis measures, there were number of diagnosis measures, you have to mention only 2. And treatment, there are measures too, but you do not have to go inside it, just name you have to write. I think you have finished. Okay, so these things, out of them, we have finished these things in detail. Risk factor, what is heart attack definition, preventive measures, and symptoms. Now we have to start about what? Diagnosis and treatment. So main diagnosis was also all the points were given. All the points were given. So just try to recall what were they. Number 1 was what? Yes, that was blood test. Blood test. Yes, like that. Next was what? Body temperature also. Yes, body temperature. What was next? Next was blood pressure also measured. Blood pressure. But some other complex testing also take place. Complex testing also done by doctors. They are angiography. Students, remember that word. I am saying angiography, not angioplasty. Yes, angiography. Angiography may be of different types. Then out of them, here it is common name for angiography, in which MRI angiography also comes. Yes, CT angiography also comes. So leave it. MRI is a little bit special. That's why here it is given. Echocardiogram or echocardiography is done. Then electrocardiography is done. Cardiography is done. So there are some methods of testing which are used in what? They are used in diagnosis. These terms you have finished. But today, diagnosis. In this diagnosis, you have to understand little bit in detail about what is angiography, how it is done. That means about mechanism also we will discuss little bit. About blood pressure we will read later. Yes, that is in blood pressure. Next topic is blood pressure. I mean, in after 1-2 lessons you will get that. How it is measured we will do. So here we are not going to discuss about these 3. Yes, you are identified, you are familiar with these names. So at first we are going to discuss about electrocardiogram. And electrocardiogram, students, electrocardiogram, you have to analyze the word electrocardiogram. What is the relation of electricity with heart? Electrocardiogram checks the capacity of heart related with electrical activities. So is there any electrical activity in the heart? Certainly yes. Yes. And here, study this diagram. What is shown here? In fact, here it is shown that how do the ventricles contract? You know that heart functions by the contraction and the relaxation of these auricles and ventricles. Already you have finished. So here, when auricles contract, ventricles relax. When ventricles contract, auricles relax. Already you have finished in the working method of heart. So this contraction of heart is conducted by electricity, electrical activities, which is self-producing system mechanism inside the heart. How unique and interesting. Look here, there are 2 nodes-like structures. One is found just below the upper or superior vena cava. Another is found near what? Tricuspid valve. So these 2 are generating units. When blood falls on them, they produce electricity. And that electricity is transferred in these cells by some knobs, and they make the ventricles to contract. It is interesting, surprising too. Yes. So here these knobs are named by 2 scientists, His and Purkinje. So they are called as his knobs, Purkinje knobs. So about them in detail you will learn in higher classes. But here you have to understand that heart works because of what? Electrical property. Yes, and that is produced inside the heart. Okay, so look here, this electricity makes the heart ventricles to contract, and here also you can see that when ventricles contract, auricles relax, and when ventricles relax, then auricles contract. And by the rhythmic motion of these auricles and ventricles, the heart work. Yes, and here this thing can be recorded by a machine called as electrocardiogram. You have seen that a long graph paper on which the heart motion, I can say heartbeat, are recorded in the form of curve as shown here, Yes. So here this region, yes, that is electrocardiogram. What is it? Electrocardiogram, in which heartbeat is here, that shows contraction of ventricles and other relaxation of what? Ventricles. Yes. So main role is of what? Ventricles. Yes, this thing. Yes, that is what? Contraction of ventricles, and this one is relaxation of ventricles. Here you can see in detail. Look here the graph. Yes. So that is called electrocardiogram. Sometimes electrocardiography is also termed as electrocardiogram as given above. So they are used synonymically. But especially electrocardiogram is the graph paper. Yes. Okay. So you have seen this machine and the graph paper which is printing out here. Yes, it is very common test of heart. Now next one is echocardiogram. Echocardiogram is based on, that is the ultrasound. That is, here ultrasound is used. Yes. And another one which was already we have done, that was based on what? Electric field and radio wave. Electric field and what? Radio wave. Okay. So in echocardiography, transducer is used. Gels are also applied at particular region, that is just above the heart. I mean chest, at that region of the chest below which the heart is situated. And then this transducer is used. Transducer changes electrical energy into sound energy, and sound energy goes inside it, that is ultrasound. And when it comes back from the organs, then it receives it and changes into electrical energy again. So about that mechanism you have already done in class 9, isn't it? About X-ray, about that ultrasound, these things you have finished. So the same knowledge you have to use here. Yeah. So here this instrument is used, and the structure of heart and blood vessels are studied and printed. They can be seen on the monitors. They can be printed, and by analysis these diagrams, the doctors, yes, look here, the doctors diagnose that the heart and blood vessels are normal or they are not working, not functioning properly. That thing is analyzed by doctors, because each and everything we cannot do. There are some technical knowledge required for it. Okay. So it is next diagnosis. And now we are going to see about magnetic resonance imaging, that is MRI, in which very high magnetic energy, high tendency of magnetic energy is used. And here, look here, that is MRI machine. And in fact, these regions have very high magnetic energy. And inside it, the patient is passed inside the machine, and 3D pictures of the required region can be seen and printed. So you can see next, the person is passing inside that machine, and after that, that magnetic energy, yes, helps to find out what? 3D pictures. And by studying that, it can be found that really the heart is functioning well, really the blood vessels of the heart are okay or not. This thing is analyzed. Yes. So in this way, there are some. Another one is left what? Yes, that is angiography. In fact, angiography may be done in two ways. One is that by using X-ray, in which that means contrast medium. One contrast medium is used. Any chemical is passed in our veins, and that flows with the blood, and where is it going, that can be seen by that X-ray, that can be detected by the X-rays, and its printing is obtained. You can see in this picture, next picture here. So it is all brightening due to what? Contrast medium. Due to contrast medium, here the regions are brightening. And where is problem? That also, look here. Yes, here is leaking or what? Ruptured. Yes. So it is one way. Sometimes it happens that especially near that wrist or in our leg, one puncture is made, or you can say one needle is injected, needle-like structure, little bit thicker, injected, and from that one catheter is passed. You know catheter? A tube which is passed inside our body. Sometimes catheter is used in urinogenital system also to pass out urine. You have seen patients having a small, that means those who are not able to go toilet, washroom, and they are on the bed of hospitals. They have they have one packet with what? Tube connected with their body. So through which urine passes there. That is also catheter. Any fine tube which is passed inside our body is called as catheter. So here it is not so thick. It is very fine, flexible tube which is passed in the vein, and then it is passed to heart. And through that contrast is injected, and the diagnosis of that disease, the blockage is done. And if the same system is used in treatment, then it is termed as what? Angioplasty, about which we have to study later. Just after it will do. Okay? So up to here you have understood how heart attack is diagnosed. Yes? So if heart attack is treated in proper time, if it is not made late to carry the patient into hospital, then it can be controlled easily. If it is at first stage, if people, those who know that my heart is not working properly, or you can say there is problem of heart attack and they take precaution, they can survive healthy life also. Yes, but if we are not caring on our health, then that may be dangerous because it is fatal too. Yes, it is fatal. If a victim does not get proper treatment, the victim may die. So proper treatment is required. Okay. Now we have to see about treatment. About diagnosis we have finished. Now about treatment, there are two ways. One is medication. Different types of medicines are given. It depends on the degree of that heart attack, how simple or complex the heart attack is, how simple or complex the blockage is. If the blockage can be removed by using medicines, then generally surgery is not done. If it can be done later, then also it is done after some months. Okay, your doctor say that you have to come after that month, and then your surgery will be done. They give time for surgery. And if the patient is in danger, immediate surgery is required, doctors do that. Yes? Okay, so in medication, very common medicine, very simple medicine, very cheap medicine is aspirin. Aspirin is analgesic. Analgesic means it is used to take for our body ache. It is common in that. But as this medicine makes our blood thin. Thin means that means thickness of the blood is reduced by it. So one thing, and next thing is analgesic also. It reduces the pain also. So it is an initial treatment in the earliest stages of the heart attack. In the beginning, that is suggested that the patient has to keep 1-2 tablets in his or her pocket. And if any problem is felt, that should be chewed, taken by chewing. So aspirin is one of the medicine. What does it do? It is anti-platelet agent given. That means it avoids blood clotting and makes blood thinner. Look here, blood thinner. Blood is made thin, due to which it can pass easily in the blood vessels. And now next one is clot busters. Clot busters are those which break clots. If blood is clotted, blood is solid, clotted, you understand, clotted, yes. So they are removed, the clots are removed by using it. So there are two main processes. One is fibrinolyte, another one is thrombolyte. Thrombolytic, that means clot busters are thrombolytic. They work as thrombolyte. Thrombolyte means the thick blood is made thin. Yes, that means the clot is removed. And fibrinolytic means they remove fibrinogen. Yes, in both cases what happens? That clot is removed. Now next, heparin. Heparin is anticoagulant that avoids blood clotting. That means before clotting, it helps to the patient. So blood is anticoagulant that increases the activity. And it is antithrombin. Same thing, antithrombin means what? Blood clotting does not take place. So here, that is just repeating. Leave it. Now next medicine is nitroglycerin. Nitroglycerin does different work. It relaxes blood vessel. That means blood vessels, they relax, they dilate, little bit dilate. That means inside it there is more passes. So thick blood also can pass through it. Yes, or you can say it helps the passage of blood through it. Yes, and it reduces chest pain also. Next one for painkiller, that is morphine. You know from which morphine is obtained? Opium. Opium, yes, that is banned, you know, and for medicine that is used. So morphine is painkiller. It provides significant pain relief because severe pain is experienced by the victim in it. Next one is beta blocker and ACE inhibitor. So beta blocker and ACE inhibitors are for that they decrease the pressure of blood inside the heart. I can say relaxation and contraction of heart is made slower, by which the pressure does not occur at the place of blockage. So look here, what does it say? Beta blockers lowers the nerve impulses, amount of blood and oxygen is heart, by which the heart works gently, not forcibly. Yes, and ACE or angiotensin converting enzyme, that these inhibitors are ACE inhibitors. They lower blood pressure by helping to dilate arteries. They also dilate arteries, by which blood pressure is reduced. So they were some medicines which are used in heart attack. They are taken to relieve heart attack in different ways. Now next one is surgical treatment, and about that diagram you are familiar. Already I have given you this diagram. So it is angioplasty. You have to see it visually now. How is it done? As I told you that this catheter with balloon and that is a stent is passed. Stent may or may not be there. It is not necessary. Yes, stent may or may not be used. That depends on the condition of the patient. So catheter is passed through the blood vessel of our hand or leg. That is from limbs it is passed. And as at first or before it, the blocking point is identified. So up to here that is passed, and where it is passing, this thing can be seen by doctors by passing what? Yes, that is contrast medium. Where is catheter going? It is on the way or a different way. So that thing is monitored on the monitors. Yes. So at the place of problem, at the place of plaque, there when this catheter reaches, the balloon is, what happens? Inflated. And in fact, if there is no stent, then this balloon is inflats, flats. So that means repeatedly this activity is done, by which the plaques pressed and they be thin. this balloon inflates and flats repeatedly, forcibly, and that makes the plaques to be pressed with the wall. If only that is enough for the patient, then not need of that stent. But if there is chance of collapsing again, then this metallic meshed tube-like structure is kept there and the balloon is inflated, passed out. How does it occur? See in that. Look here. It is without mesh, without stent. Yes, look, what is the condition of that plaque? Yes, being thin, and it makes the passage easier. It is one way. Another way is what? Yes, look here, the catheter is passed inside it with balloon and the what? Yes, stent, and then balloon is inflated and taken out, and there this mesh is remained. Yes, so it is interesting. Yes, so in this way, this surgical treatment is done. It is also called as coronary angioplasty. So remember that if angiography, the same angiography can take the form of what? Angioplasty. But angiography is not treatment. Angiography is only for diagnosis. Angiography is only for diagnosis. Angioplasty is the treatment. Okay, when it is used as treatment, then we say it what? Angioplasty. Okay. Now, next surgical treatment is open heart surgery. That is also called as bypass surgery. Some other names are also there. CABG. CABG, not to eat. CABG. And it is pronounced CABG. Look here, coronary artery bypass grafting is one name. CABG, that is CABG, but we pronounce what? CABG. It is very common term. Coronary artery bypass graft surgery, that is already repeated. Sorry, that is given here. So it is repeating. Heart bypass surgery and open heart surgery, same thing. Okay, so what happens here? See, consider here is blockage. In this heart, blockage is shown here. And another blockage is shown here. Two blockages are found. Then what is done? One artery is taken from the, one branch of artery is taken. Here are two arteries for the same organ. So for one organ, one is left and another one is taken here. And it is grafted just below of the blockage. So up to here, this blood vessel supplies blood. These blood cells, we are not getting the blood supply. So they are supplied by another graft. So for this purpose, not only artery, veins also can be used. You may not have that knowledge, but not only artery, veins also can be used. Here artery is used. Yes. In the same way, instead of that, a vein may be grafted, but here grafting will be done here and here both. That means the vein will be connected with this cells and with this cells both. In next diagram, you can see it. Look here. Here is branch of artery. That branch of artery is grafted here. Yes. But in this case, what is happening? A vein is taken and this vein is grafted in between the artery and just below of the blockage. Yes. So, not only artery is used for it, veins also can be used. Yes. Okay. So, it is called as what? Open heart surgery. It doesn't mean that the person has to, the doctors have to open the heart. Yes, they have to dissect the heart as we did in goat's heart. No. Yes, in the case of bulb that may happen, but here it is not that. Okay. Now, yes, here is given that this vein, this blood vessel, especially vein, is taken from either leg or what? Leg or here, this artery is taken from leg. No, artery is taken from hand and vein is taken from leg. See, artery is taken from leg and vein is taken from hand. Yes, that is shown here. Some more information about it. Okay. Now, go ahead. Now we have to read about heart beat and heart rate. See the diagram. See the picture. What is happening? Yes, contracting. When it contracts, then auricles relax. Then auricles relax. Yes. So contraction and relaxation of auricles and ventricles, about that you have done many times. So I'm not going to tell in detail about it. Just here you have to find out that when ventricles contract, then they press maximum, okay, then a sound is produced, yes, louder sound. And when they relax, another sound is produced. So that is lub, dub, lub, dub, lub, dub. That sound is heard by stethoscope. That sound can be heard by what? Using stethoscope, yes. So that is heartbeat. And there is particular number for heartbeat in in normal adult person. Can you say what is it? Yes, that is 60 to 100. In normal adult person, if the heartbeat rate, which is also termed as heart rate, is 60 to 100, that is normal. Below 60, in normal condition I am saying, yes. If it is above 100, that may be when you are at heavy exercise, when you are running, when we are going upstairs, yes, when you are doing hard work, that may be more. But in normal case, if it is more than 100 and below 60, then it is abnormal. And they are termed by another terms, so about which we have to see here. So sound, you can find out already, I have explained. You have to rate that text. The count of heartbeat per minute is called as what? Heart rate. Remember. Yes. And here heartbeat and heart rate are not same. Heartbeat is just the sound which is produced by the contraction and relaxation of the heart. But heart rate is what? The number of count of the sound produced in the heart by its contraction and relaxation. Yes, and its average, what is its average value? 60 to 100 per minute. And if the heart rate is below 60 per minute, remember in normal condition only, then it is called as bradycardia. And if it is greater than 100 times per minute, 100 per minute, then it is called as tachycardia. Yes, so these terms may be asked for short question also. In multiple choice question also you may be asked. So you have to keep in your mind these things. And you know that what instrument is used to measure it. You have seen stethoscope. Yes, doctors wear here in ears, and one diaphragm is taken to the chest or back of the patient, of the person, you can say. Non-patients also can measure. That means they also can give their heartbeat. They also can feel their heartbeat rate. Yes, so that can be measured. And in this way, heartbeat rate is measured by using it. Okay. Now, pulse rate. In fact, pulse rate and heartbeat rate is same, because when the ventricles contract, blood is pumped out from the heart, and that gives maximum pressure on the wall of arteries. Yes, and as you know that arteries are elastic in nature. Yes, arteries are elastic, means they can expand and relax. When blood flows at high pressure in arteries, they expand. When blood flows at low pressure, then it relaxes. So due to that, pulse is formed, which can be experienced on our wrist. On our wrist, that you see, I will show you diagram. Here also you can press for that. Yes. Okay. So here what is pulse rate? At first you have to find yourself. Just you have to follow the instruction whatever is given here. Put your two fingers on the wrist here. Yes, just below the thumb. At the wrist you have to press by using two fingers, and just press, little bit press you have to give. Press gently and find your pulse rate. So pulse rate, how can you count? The feeling which comes or which you feel on your fingers, that thing you have to count in 1 minute. But for if you have less time, count in half minute and then double it. Yes, you can do it. Okay. So here you have to find out answer of these questions. Which blood vessel are you pressing? Just artery or vein you have to say. Yes, now you have got the hint already, that is artery. Can you feel pulse just touching the wrist without pressing it? You can feel it, just touch. No, just press. Yes. Why? Because arteries are deep seated. Arteries are at depth in our body. Yes. And another cause is what? Arteries are elastic. So if they are elastic at surface, then they can be seen. They were visible. But here you have to, because they are at depth, you have to feel by what? Pressing. Next one. Why do other blood vessels not give pulse? Now you have got the answer. Because other blood vessels means veins are non-elastic. Yes, they cannot give pulse. And when blood flow, is pumped out, at first it enters where? In arteries. That is also another region. Okay. So, what is your pulse rate? You have counted. By counting in half minute, just double it. If your pulse rate is in between 60 to 100, that means normal. If less than 60, that means weakness. That shows weakness. Okay. And more than 100, hypertension. And what terms are given for it? Bradycardia and tachycardia. Yes, remember it. Okay. Now what is pulse rate? Yes. Here when ventricles contract, blood is pumped into arteries and its walls expand due to its elasticity, already explained. And when ventricles contract, blood is not pumped in the artery, thus its walls relax. Yes. So these two make what? These two activities make what? Pulse. That is our feeling. The expansion and relaxation of these arteries. In fact, that is the product of relaxation and expansion of what? Yes, that is of ventricles. Yes? Okay. So, number of pulse per minute is called as what? Pulse rate. And it is accurate as heart rate because that is product of it. So, things are different, but numerically they are same. Numerically they are same. Yes? Keep in mind. Pulse rate and heart rate are same, that is 60 to 100 per minute. So students, today we have learnt about specially diagnosis and treatment of heart attack, and then we discussed about heart rate and pulse rate. And I think very interesting things, very interesting topic we have studied. And the coming lessons are going to be more interesting. Be careful. More interesting. Yes. Okay, whatever you have learnt, just see, here are some questions for you. So, first question is, what is bypass heart surgery? So, first point is given, opening the auricle and ventricles by surgery, process of keeping stent in the blocked artery, process of passing catheter with balloon in artery, or connecting a branch of blood vessel in artery. Artery means, yes, which artery? You know it, coronary artery, yeah. So, here correct answer is what? Connecting a branch of blood vessel in artery. Here I am saying blood vessel because it may be artery or vein, anyone. Yes. Next question is, what is tachycardia? Heart rate more than 60 per minute in normal adult person or human. Heart rate less than 60 per minute in normal adult human, or heart rate less than 100 per minute in normal adult human, or heart rate more than 100 per minute in normal adult human. What may be? So tachycardia, very easy. That is what? Tachycardia, yes. That is very easy. Here you have got that it is more than what? 100 per minute. Okay, now next question is, which statement is true? In coronary angioplasty, use of stent is must. In angioplasty, contrast medium is required. C is pulse rate is measured using sphygmomanometer. Heart rate is measured using sphygmomanometer. Yes. So, what may be the correct answer? It is B number. In angioplasty, contrast medium is required. Yes, because here stent may or may not be used. Sphygmomanometer is used in blood pressure, not in pulse rate or heart rate. So, they are not correct answer. Okay, students, next question is, that is, which of following is done to study the proper function of ventricles? Angiography, B is echocardiography, C is electrocardiography, and D is both angiography and electrocardiography. So remember, we are talking about the proper function of ventricles. So that is related with what? Yes. So you have guessed it. It is what? Electrocardiography. Now, next questions are for writing on the copy, and then you have to answer them later, and you have to show your teachers. First question is define pulse rate and heart rate. You can define it very easily. Write any two differences in between coronary angioplasty and coronary bypass surgery. You have to think and write about them. I think you can do. Describe about the angiography procedure. Whole procedure you have to explain, you have to describe. Next one is describe the Cabez procedure in short. How is it done? You have to explain. And now next question is related with this diagram. And here in this diagram, number of labeling are here, A, B, C, here is C, D, E is here, F is here. So which of them is grafted vein? That is question is easy. You have got? Yes. So here grafted vein is shown by what? E. A is for that tube, E is for this tube, and B is for the location where something happened. Maybe in question, that's why I am not saying it. Which of them is grafted artery? Another one, very easily you have got, that is F. Next one is what? At which part of the heart vessels have blockage? That's why I did not tell you, but you can guess that here B, and what is it? That is C. Yes, they are the blockage. Okay, that's all for today, students. I think you enjoyed in the class. Next time I will come with new lesson. That's all for today. Namaste.